not too excited. Has everyone here used a spatula?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Or maybe a microwavable bacon crisper?
Yeah.
Nice.
Has anyone used that?
All right, well, our very next guest, she designs products just like these and more. Zoe Mikhailovich is a product manager at OXO, and she is here to tell us all about her job and her wonderful work designing these fantastic things that find their way into your kitchen. So, when I say Zoe, you say E! Zoe! E! Zoe! E! Let's give it up for Zoe Mikhailovich! Zoe, thank you for coming on the show. I'm so excited you are here. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
I was personally very excited when you agreed to come on the show because I'm a huge fan of crazy kitchen gadgets. Ever since the 4th grade, we did this weird demo where my teacher brought out all these tools and we had to figure out what they did, and we all got them wrong. And since then, I've always been kind of exploring and wanting to try new things. So I am personally very excited to have you here. So let's just get right to it. So can you talk a little bit about where the ideas for some of these products come from? I mean, what is an example maybe of something you've worked on a little, and tell us a little bit how the idea comes about.
Yeah, so our ideas for products at OXO kind of come from everywhere. So they come from our peers, they come from pet peeves we see in the kitchen, they come from other products that we feel like are doing something that we want to do, but we want to do in a better or different way. And a lot of times they just come from our pet peeves in the kitchen. So what we feel like might improve our lives while we're cooking every day. Specific products that I've worked on, one of the products that we're going to talk about today was to solve the pet peeve of stripping the herbs off of stems when you're cooking.
Yes.
Something that takes a lot of time, and we kind of felt like there wasn't really anything on the market that helped to alleviate that pain in the kitchen, so we created a product for it.
And we will get right back to that product. But before we do, when we were talking a little bit before the show,
Yes.
I didn't understand actually how much time goes into making some of these things. Can you just walk us through kind of the steps? How long does it take?
Yeah. So a product can take anywhere, I would say minimum, very, very minimum is a 1.5 to 2 years is kind of a short-term, quick project.
And that's to develop anything from a new peeler to crazy dragon fruit spiralizer,
That
whatever.
sounds like a good idea.
That's why we come on the show.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of background work. We do a lot of market research, figure out what's on the market, and then there's just a ton of work that goes into developing a product, everything from the engineering behind it, the manufacturing, the different, just all of the different processes, the packaging, where we're going to sell it, trying to get it sold to consumers, and everything in between. And yeah, it just ends up taking
And your role in all this is kind of orchestrating the full team and ideating the project from start to finish, right?
Right, exactly. So I work on the project everywhere from concept and ideation, so figuring out what it is that we want to make, what we want it to do. Working with design firms so that they can actually make it look beautiful, and then working with engineers so they can make it functional. And then working with our packaging teams and our sales departments and our factories and all of our different vendors and getting the product to you guys.
And this is a global process, right?
Yes.
Some of your vendors are
Yes, they're
in China,
overseas,
across the
some are in
world,
China,
everything.
so there's that barrier. We're 12 hours away, so yeah.
So using our comb as, let's hold up one of the combs here. Guys, the anticipation is killing you, I'm sure. All right, let's do, please, you do the honors. This is the herb comb. Let's give it up for the herb. So using this as kind of our example,
Yes.
can you talk a little bit about where this started from
Yes,
in your brain?
yes.
This is your thing you like saw from start to finish and made up, and now is on our table, which is pretty crazy.
Yes.
So tell us like where this started from and walk us through some of the steps to like this final shape and how we use it now.
Okay, yeah. So like I said, me and my team kind of figured out this pet peeve of stripping the leaves off of stems in the kitchen. And we felt like there were some products on the market that worked on certain herbs but not others. And we make a lot of guacamole in the office, so we use a lot of cilantro and didn't have anything to strip those leaves off of the stems.
Is that like a political choice to put in the guacamole?
It is.
Not?
It
Okay.
is. We have lime juice users. We have cilantro. It's all very polarizing. We don't get along at the end of the day. It's still guacamole. So we developed this idea that we wanted to create a product that helped with that. And I was actually kind of brainstorming with my engineer one day. And she kind of thought, like, what if we had something to like physically strip the stems off, kind of like a comb? So she, I don't know where she went, but she procured a big bag of hair combs, like just the ones that you use. That's why it looks like it does. And we actually just tested herbs with a bunch of combs. People thought we were crazy in the kitchen. And so then once we kind of decided that this was the form it was going to take, we took it to a design firm and they kind of put the beauty behind it. We decided to add some holes for stripping kale too, because it's kind of a similar motion. And so then once we decided on a design, the engineers make like a 3D model in the computer. It's all very complicated. And then they send it to a factory, and the factory makes these, like, I like to call them Jell-O molds, because we're all food related. And so that's like my frame of reference. It's how I like understand how things in the engineering world work. It's a Jell-O mold. And so they pour the plastic or Jell-O into the mold, and then it comes out, and they, will send us a sample. That's kind of like the most exciting part, is when you can see like the product actually in the flesh and not just like a janky comb. And then we test it. We do different rounds of testing. We decide on the color. We shop it around to different vendors. We show it at some trade shows, and then work on the packaging, the photo shoot. My hands are actually on the packaging. It's very exciting. And then it shows up in stores, hopefully, if people buy it.
So I know everyone's just been waiting for this part, but can we test it out, please, and see? And can you show us how we use this tool?
Yes.
It is. I like to think of it as the Swiss Army knife of herbs, since it does have so many functions with our kale, parsley, so many different products.